Hello everyone, this is Bucky. We are launching today the first episode of the first season, and today we're going to Caviahue in the north of Patagonia. So welcome to Insider Argentina. Contenido en 3. Caviahue is a very small town located in the west side of the province of Neuquén, and it was founded less than 40 years ago, in the 80s. The easiest way to get to Caviahue from Buenos Aires is actually taking a plane from Buenos Aires either to San Martín de los Andes, which is 300 kilometers south, or to the Neuquén capital, that is a bit further away, but it's actually a lot faster to get there. I, however, decided to take a very different means of travel, and I borrowed my parents' old Volkswagen Gol, and I drove 1700 kilometers from Buenos Aires to Caviahue. That took us roughly 3 days, and in case you're short in time, I really do not consider taking the car to Patagonia because the distances are massive. So, going back to Caviahue is what I usually call the northernmost part of Patagonia, and that's why I decided to start filming here at the northernmost corner and make it all the way south. First destination of the day was the Salto del Agrio. In English, that would be something like the bitter waterfall. Actually, it's not a bitter waterfall, but a bitter river. And the reason why this river is bitter because it's born in a volcano. So that's what you see right there. There's actually no life at all in this river because of the concentration of minerals in the water, sulfur, iron, and many others. Because of these minerals, all the rocks in the river are dyed in a very, very particular color. Everything looks either green or orange, giving this place a out-of-this-world look. Most of the people that come here stay in the lookout watching at the waterfall. I found it too good to be true, and I wanted to see how the waterfall looked not only from above, but also from below. Well guys, we're now going to go underneath the waterfall. I don't know if that's possible, but we're going to give it a try. This place is a lot better than what I expected. The water is nice, sun's shining, and most of all, there's no wind down here. That means we can fly the drone. After spending a much longer time than expected in Salto del Agrio, I decided it was time to leave. There was still much more to see. We headed for Puente de Piedra, a natural rock formation by Lake Caviahue, but before we got there, I crossed a small bridge where the river joined Lake Caviahue. I saw there was a short detour to the beach, and I decided to take it, and I'm glad I did, because what I found there, it was just amazing. What I love the most about having a drone is that you get to see the places you go from a very different perspective. When I first saw this river from the air, I wasn't sure what I was looking at. If you see a picture, it can actually look either like a river or like a painting or some abstract art. You have actually no idea until you get the context, and I love it. Well, I've just had lunch in a lookout once we left the waterfall, and now I'm heading to a place called Puente de Piedra, which means stone bridge. As you can imagine, it's a bridge made of stone. Fun fact is that it's not man-made, but it's actually made by Mother Nature. I can see it from here, it's on the other side of the lake. Not sure you'll be able to see it. So we are going to go there. It's a very nice park. I mean, it's a bridge over the cliff by the lake, so it's really, really nice. There's rock formation. It's a rock arch by the cliffs on Lake Caviahue, and it's not too far away from town. It's only a 10-minute drive. I parked the car by the lake and I started the short hike that would take us there. It's not more than 15-minute walk, depending on how easy you take it. And I must admit, when I first saw the bridge, I wasn't that much impressed, but as soon as I got on the bridge, things got a lot different. It's a 70-meter high fall into the lake, and you have literally nothing to hold you, and you're standing in a rock between these two sides, and it's quite scary, a lot more scary than what I expected. Well everyone, I really hope you liked it. It's been a great day so far. I mean, very, very active. We've done way too many things. I'm exhausted. Wind is howling, the sun is strong. It's quite tiring. I mean, glad to be doing this, but it's tiring, believe me. On the morning of the second day, we headed into the thermas of Kopawa, which are one of the most famous thermal baths in Argentina. Kopawa is a volcano located some 20 kilometers, is roughly 14 miles west from Caviahue, in the border between Argentina and Chile. And these thermal baths are located on the foothills of the mountain. So we're now heading deep into the Andes. Oh wow, there's a lake here. I wasn't expecting that. So can you see that? That is rather unexpected. There behind the clouds is the volcano, and that's where we're heading. So, as you can see, we're going up and up and up. Because this place is located on a volcano, there's plenty of thermal baths and geysers all over the area. As we drove out of Caviahue heading to Kopawa, the landscape changed dramatically. Before we were in a place full of life, and as soon as we started going up, we were suddenly in the middle of the mountain and there was nothing but rock and a few snow patches. The Kopawa resort is located up in the mountains in a very, very isolated area. For this reason, it's only open in summer. During the winter, this place is buried under 5 or 7 feet of snow. Así está en verano y así está en invierno. Techitos, nada más. I arrived to the resort up in the mountain, and for the look at it, the place didn't look at the beginning very nice, but it's not a place you go to look at, it's a place you go to dive in. For that reason, I decided to go and try some of the pools in the area, and the one I decided to go was called the Pig's Pool, La Pileta del Chancho, which it's literally a mud pool, and beg your pardon, but this place stinks. Well everyone, we're going into this pool, but before we go in, we are going over there to cover ourselves in mud, and then jumping in. It's super disgusting, super disgusting. People go there because these muds and pools have many curative, is a word that? ¿Existe esa palabra? Curative. Healing properties. Of course, people don't go for the view or the smell. They come here because these pools with mud and water, they have a huge amount of healing properties. So if you have from asthma to arthritis or whatever you have, you'll find something to help you in this place. Of course, these thermal baths have been intervened by men, and it's all artificial now. Quema. Ah, está re caliente. However, there's a few more places in the area that there's still natural mud pools. So why don't we go and have a look at them? The place we were heading to was called Las Machinitas. The name, it's quite funny actually, because it means the machines, and when people first arrived to this area, they found that these pools and geysers made a very, very similar noise to a steam machine. So you could hear from far away that rumbling noise coming from below the ground. Oh wow! I mean, 5 minutes ago, I was really cold, and now the soil is boiling, literally boiling. ¿Cuánto dijiste que vale? 2 lucas y media.
2.500 pesos.
2.500 pesos el frasquito de esto.
Frasquito de chiquito.
Tiene todos los nutrientes, es increíble.
Y acá me estoy llevando ¿cuánto? 10 lucas, no sé.
Más o menos.
Everything in Las Machinitas felt like sci-fi filming. Somehow unearthly. The extreme cold, the fierce wind, the wild emptiness, the foul stench of the mud, the warm vibrating ground, the steam swirling in the air and being blown away and vanishing into the thin air. It was already time to leave Caviahue to our next destination, so we made it back from the thermal baths of Kopawa all the way down to the town of Caviahue. From there we were heading south, but before leaving Caviahue there was one more place I wanted to go to. Well, we finally made it to the waterfalls. Yes, I know, we've been to a waterfall before. This is the same river. In English the translation would be the same, but it's a different place. Because one is El Salto del Agrio, and these are Cascadas del Agrio. The beginning of the trail to the Cascadas, to the waterfalls, is only a few kilometers, maybe 2 or 3 kilometers outside Caviahue. I parked the car there and I started walking. The trail is actually quite short, it's not more than 2 or 3 kilometers. Although it's very short, it's quite impressive, because all this time we are walking through a pewin forest. Pewin, or Araucaria, is one of the oldest trees in the world. Most of these trees are between 800 to 1,000 years old, and they are sacred for the natives in Patagonia. As we hiked through the forest, small waterfalls kept popping out of nowhere. There's in total 7, but we saw the first 4. If you want to see the other 3, you've got to keep walking beyond the trail's end. Well, I'm finally going back home. It's been a really long day. Had some troubles with the drone, unfortunately, on the second day of my journey. It's going to be 3 months, so I need to get that fixed. After years of traveling to the south, I always believed I knew Patagonia very well. Caviahue, however, was the first destiny of many that proved me wrong. The bare land, the dead waters of the river Agrio, the towering heights of the Andes, it's nothing to do with the classical Patagonian postcards. Not everything here is about lakes and fairy-tale forests. Patagonia is vast, unpredictable, wild, ever-changing. It's kaleidoscopic. Landscape and weather change in the blink of an eye. It's summer snow, it's the desert, flowery meadows, and the silent murmur of a thawing brook. It was already time to hit the road. We were moving on to our next destiny, a couple 100 kilometers south, through unknown roads in the vastness of the Andes. Our way down south was just about to begin. Hey guys, this is Bucky. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to leave any comment, question or suggestion you may have. If you want to see more content like this, I'll leave my social networks in the description. Thank you very much, and see you in the next episode of Insider Argentina.